I take heroin. I use heroin. I inject it into my body. I snort it in my body because I'm addicted to it. I am a walking fucking abomination.
Most extreme cinema relies on rubber prosthetics, theoretical blood, the elaborate special effects to shock you. We willingly sit through gore and grotesque imagery because at the back of our minds, we know there's a camera crew, a director calling cuts, and an actor wiping off the fake blood at the end of the day. But what happens when the true horror on screen isn't simulated? What happens when the monsters aren't demons or slash villains, but a slow, excruciating process of real-world destruction? And today, we're going to be looking at the controversial 2012 documentary by Lucifer Valentine. This is Black Metal Veins. In 2012, Canadian filmmaker Lucifer Valentine, a director notorious for coining the vomit gore subgenre, with films such as Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, stepped away from his usual surreal horror to release something far more unsettling. Black Metal Veins is a 90-minute journey into the deepest, darkest corners of intravenous drug abuse, marketed as a stark documentary. It follows 5 young people tied together by 2 things: an obsession with the black metal culture and a crippling, fatalistic addiction to heroin. This isn't any preachy public service announcement, nor is it a polished Hollywood tragedy like Requiem for a Dream. This is an unvarnished, suffocating look at addiction, decay, and spiritual collapse. Today we are breaking down Black Metal Veins, looking at what it captures, how it blurs the line between reality and exploitation, and why it remains one of the most haunting pieces of underground media ever put to film. The narrative is split into 2 distinct time frames, separated by a 5-year gap. In the first half, we meet Raven and Brad in the early stages of their addiction. Raven comes across as articulate but deeply troubled, rationalizing her lifestyle through a nihilistic lens that mirrors the bleak themes of the black metal music playing in the background. Brad appears equally disillusioned, attempting to frame their downward spiral not as a tragedy, but as a deliberate rejection of society. We see them practicing with their black metal band, hanging out in cluttered, dimly lit apartments, and casually preparing needles. The camera doesn't turn away when the syringes come out. Every vein, every drop of blood, every hit is captured in raw, explicit detail. When the film fast forwards 5 years, any lingering romantic or youthful bravado is utterly destroyed. The physical and psychological toll of half a decade of heavy opiate and crack abuse is devastatingly visible. Raven's demeanor have shifted from edgy criticism to severe physical distress. Her body shows obvious physical trauma from the chronic injection, including severe abscesses and skin infections. By this point, Autumn Misery has joined their dynamic to fund their habits. The subjects discuss engaging in sex work and extreme survival tactics. The environment has degraded into complete chaos. Conversations break down into erratic arguments, moments of stupor and reckless behavior, such as Brad injecting vodka directly into his bloodstream. Or was it bourbon? My mind's trying to block it out. But the film concludes with a chilling text overlays updating the audience on the fates of the subjects, detailing overdoses, industrialization, and individuals vanishing entirely without a trace. It leaves a viewer with a lingering sense of bleak and unresolved despair. But on the other hand, Valentine's presence behind the camera raises serious ethical concerns. He remains a silent observer while the individuals actively destroy themselves in front of his lens, offering no intervention or support. Furthermore, scene staging and dramatic editing in certain sequences leave viewers questioning how much chaos was entirely unscripted versus nugged along for cinematic effect. The music choice, blending harsh black metal with chaotic sound design, creates an overwhelming sense of dread. And it treats addiction not as a medical condition, but as an existential haunting. And ultimately, Black Metal Veins isn't a comfortable watch, nor is it meant to be. It occupies a rare, uncomfortable space in extreme cinema, a work that forces you to stare directly into human suffering without giving you the relief of knowing it's a movie. So what's your thoughts on Black Metal Veins? Was it crossed the line into pure exploitation? Or is it a vital piece of raw documentary filmmaking? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching The Shadowed Shelf. I've been Richie. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and comment if you haven't already. I'll see you all in the next one. A bit of an afterword here, a bit of PS, a bit of postscript, just because I had some bits I wanted to include, but it was after I did all the editing, and I thought, I can't do all that again. So there's one bit, there's a guy called Doom in the film. It's Raven's boyfriend. He's not in the film as much in the early days because he's actually working for the Navy and he's been away and he's due to get back the next day. And probably the most uncomfortable issue with his presence during the film is he talks about how he does not agree, he does not enjoy Raven's habits and wants her to stop. But he, for instance, there's moments where he assists her, yeah, and he is often around that culture, such as he claims to be sober, and just being around that environment with those people, especially as a sober man in the Navy, it just seems like such a bizarre place to end up. And there's one very, very, very distressing scene of where Raven is out of her mind on, and her and Doom have some alone time together. But the worst thing is, it's filmed, so they're not alone. I'm just going to leave that there. Messed up film, this. Messed up.